Hey there and welcome to my channel. This is our very first video on this channel, so thank you for watching. In today's video, I really just want to help you out if you are trying to get into film photography, but you are on a budget. I recently got into film photography myself, and these are just some simple tips I learned along the way, so hopefully this video helps you. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. All right, so if you're getting started in film photography and you just kind of don't know where to get started, right? You're wanting to get into it, but you don't know where to start. You can always start with a point and shoot disposable camera. I forgot mine at home, the one that I have, but you can find them, they look like this. You can find them at drugstores, you can find them at Walmart, whatever your local grocery store is. Most of the time they carry these. These are super simple, easy, awesome tools to get yourself started in film. They're really, really cheap. I think the price is like $7 or $8 to get one of them, which is crazy awesome. So you can start with that if you don't really want to invest in a camera initially. But if you are wanting to kind of take it to that next level and hop in with a camera that you can use over and over again, and maybe you want something like this, right? This was my first film camera that I found, and I'll kind of explain to you guys how I found it and how you can find one for yourself as well. So the first place that I look whenever I look for anything film, anything used, is Facebook Marketplace. Is an awesome place to look, right? If you go on there and you scroll through, you can see all different types of cameras, different brands, different conditions, and different deals, right? So whenever you're scrolling through there, you can see some stuff that's like on a crazy deal. Like when I first got this camera, the guy was asking like $75, and you can always negotiate with people, and I was able to negotiate with him down to $50, which was an awesome price for my first film camera. And I've loved this thing. I use it. I've actually stopped using it as much as I do with my other ones because I've found some other ones that I really like as well. But Facebook Marketplace is an awesome place. eBay, if you hop on eBay, there's lots of deals on there. You can sort it by price, you can sort by auction or buy it now. There's lots of ways you can break down to look exactly what you're wanting in a film camera. Also, if you are interested, there's Depop, Etsy. I mean, you can look at estate sales. I have like a clip of me looking on estate sales because I've found crazy stuff at estate sales before. Garage sales. If you go to some thrift stores, sometimes you can get lucky. That's one thing I hope to do on this channel as well, is go thrifting for some film cameras and bringing you guys along for that. But also, if you're kind of starting and you don't know where to start, these two types of cameras are usually a safe first bet alongside a disposable point and shoot, right? So this is called an SLR. And if you're looking for one of these, you can usually find one for around that $50 price point, even less sometimes if you get lucky. I've even seen them going for $25 in great condition, the same exact brand. So this is an SLR. This is a little bit trickier though. So if you're getting started out and you don't know a lot about aperture, ISO, shutter speed, all that, this one can be a little confusing, but it's definitely worth looking into as a first option because it's such a fun camera to shoot with. So definitely look into SLRs. But if you don't know anything and you just want to start getting into it, this is a reusable point and shoot. Just like the disposable ones, this one you can actually load the film. I would open it up and show you guys, but I actually have some film in here right now. And the cool thing is when you open this thing up, this one actually specifically has a little zoom lens where you can do two different focal lengths, which is pretty cool. It says it does 35 and 55. So you can actually have some fun with one of these. I got this one for $20 on Marketplace alongside a Polaroid camera as well, which I'm sure I'll make some videos on as well in the future, talking about Polaroid, which is one thing that I love to shoot, taking pictures of my son and all that. So if you're also looking at getting into film, one thing you need to do is you need to make sure the camera works. Right? That's such a huge step. So once you've found the camera, right? Like I said, this was my first camera. Once you found it, you need to make sure it works. So when I got this, the last guy that had used it, he bought it new in the 70s, and he's like, it worked when I last shot it in the 90s, but it had been sitting for like 20 or 30 years. So one thing you want to check whenever you look and you get a film camera, here's a couple quick things. If you buy one like this especially, is you need to look at the light seals. You want to look around where the door hits the body. When you actually look and you check the light seals, you're able to see if they're rotten or not. Like this one, they were totally rotted out, so I was able to replace them myself with some other helpful YouTube videos. Like that's another video that I want to make one day to show you guys how easy it is to replace light seals. You wanna check the shutter curtain, make sure there's no tears, holes. You wanna make sure that when you cock it and you shoot it, that it actually, is working properly. Another really important piece to look at is the lens as well. You wanna make sure there's no fungus. You wanna make sure the shutter, that it works when you shutter, the aperture rings work. You wanna just make sure everything that you're getting, that you're gonna need to works when you buy this camera or a camera like it, because if you get one that doesn't work, it can be pretty frustrating. Also, when you're looking at cameras, I think it's worth mentioning to stay with some more popular name brands, because you can find those on a good deal if you look hard enough. So name brands like Fujifilm, Nikon, Olympus, Minolta, Canon. Oh my gosh, there's so many ones. Pentax, right? Just stick with ones like that. When you go off the path down to some more cheaper ones, sometimes those are more likely to be broken as well. The next thing that you want to do, especially if you pick up an SLR like this, is you'll have to learn how to expose, right? So I've found very helpful a light meter app. Some of these cameras come with light meters built into them, but light meters can be really tricky to use in these old cameras. So you can download an app on your smartphone. I have one on my iPhone. I'll show you kind of a clip of how it works here. But when you use this app, it will tell you the exact settings to set your camera to get into that film world. Another thing that you're gonna need outside of a camera, right, after you found all those pieces, you're gonna need film. You're gonna need the actual film that you're gonna shoot on. I think it's worth starting on something cheaper, because when you start out, you're probably gonna mess up a lot. So my favorite ones that I started on were the Fuji 200. You can find that at your local drugstores. I also started on Kodak Ultramax, which is like a Walgreens staple film, but definitely start on a cheaper film stock. You can get like a pack of 3 for 15 bucks if you get it at the right place. So definitely start with something cheaper, because you know you're gonna make some mistakes, but have fun with shooting those cheaper film stocks, because they still produce awesome quality pictures along the way. The next thing that you're gonna wanna do is find a local lab to develop your film at. You can try to start developing at home. I feel like that's a next step after you've really been getting into film. So the first thing I did was found my local film store, my local film lab here in Cleveland. It's called Dodd, and they've been awesome to help along the way with getting my stuff developed. They have a club that I can join, which is pretty cool. But that's where you can go drop off your film, have it developed and scanned and even printed. But if you actually want to learn a little bit more about film, a second step once you hop into it is maybe learn how to scan on your own, right? You can find a flatbed scanner. You can scan with your mirrorless camera, which I'm getting into right now, how to scan with the camera that I'm actually shooting this video with. But once you find that lab, once you're done shooting your rolls through your camera that you found, then you can then take it to the lab, get your film back in a few days, either the scans, the prints, all that, or just the film. So whenever I go, I get just the negatives back, and then I get to go home and actually have the fun of looking at what I got on those shots. And the last thing that you wanna do, and I just encourage you guys to do, is get out and start shooting film. It's one of the most amazing, fun things you can do, even at the beginning when you're not the best, because I'm not much further ahead of you guys. I just started this about 7 or 8 months ago, and I've loved my little journey so far. But start capturing stuff on film, right? Start capturing memories, start capturing moments that you want to keep with you forever. So to end this video, thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe. It would help a lot as we're trying to get this thing off the ground. And I want to just end with letting the music ride out and show you guys some of my favorite pictures that I've gotten on film so far. Thank you again for watching. God bless. Peace.